Today we have some very interesting facts and figures on the interest in certain consoles thanks to a report from Nielsen, and this is the Games 360 report. And they focused on a few things, but I want to focus on awareness of and the intention to buy the latest consoles. And well, reveal something quite interesting about the awareness of the mid upgrades like PS4 Pro and of course the Xbox Scorpio. Of the general population, only 11% have heard of Scorpio and only 21% have heard of the PS4 Pro. The numbers are a bit better if you go with people who are over the age of 13. This is in the gamer category, with 14% having heard of the Scorpio and 27% having heard of the Pro. However, among non-gamers, only 3% have actually heard of it, or are only aware of it. But here's the thing, if they're not a gamer, okay, then it's a fairly safe assumption to say that they probably don't read the gaming websites or magazines or whatever, and they also don't watch E3. It's only what they've heard through the pipeline, maybe what their friends are talking about on Facebook or whatever. So why would they have heard of the Scorpio? I mean, it's not even been revealed officially yet. We don't even know what it looks like, how much it costs, what games are going to be on it, nothing. We literally know the specs, and only that is quite recent, of course. However, things are a little rosier when you look at the standard PS4 and Xbox One. And the Switch is actually doing pretty well for itself as well. But in the general population, 69% of people have heard of the PS4 and 61% had heard of the Xbox One and Xbox One S. As for gamers aged 13 and over, you've got 77% awareness of the PS4 and 72% of the Xbox One/S. So pretty even there, and obviously we've already discussed the awareness of the Pro and Scorpio for both of these particular segments. But of course, I just briefly mentioned the Nintendo Switch, and among the general population, and again 13 or over, is 22% of people have actually heard of the Switch, in comparison to 29% of gamers. Now, they didn't only look at awareness, they also looked at intention to purchase. And it's pretty interesting. There's not that much difference between the general population and gamers in this particular study. It's a difference of maybe 5% roughly, you know, give or take a few percent, but it's not a huge jump like you might expect. For example, only 13% of people again would buy a Scorpio, 15% would buy a Pro. This is all gamers, by the way. 20% for the PS4, 16% of the Switch, and 17% for the Xbox One S. However, there are a few major caveats for this particular study. Now, while it is interesting and gives us an idea of the awareness of certain consoles, both in and outside of the gaming community and industry, it is a pretty small sample size in all honesty. It is roughly 2,000 participants, and this is only within the US, this particular study. So, yeah. While this doesn't mean we can just throw this survey in the bin, it's just not indicative of everyone ever, basically. It's just a small sort of snippet, a preview, if you will, to give us a general feeling of the awareness and, again, intention to buy. You know, the awareness is really what I wanted to focus on here, because, again, I don't think it's brilliantly fair to pit the Scorpio, which isn't even out or really officially revealed properly, against the Pro, which has been out, well, this holiday it'll be out a year. So yeah. Still though, it is interesting to see exactly how the consoles are faring, especially the Switch, as of course that has been selling like absolute hotcakes ever since it came out a couple of months ago. I mean, the only thing really worth mentioning is that while the Pro obviously has been out a year and the Switch has only been out a couple of months, you know, it's very, very early for the Switch, and of course still fairly early days for the Pro. And of course, with both the Pro and the Scorpio, how popular and common, and I guess accepted, doesn't really seem the right word, but what have you, the adoption of 4K TVs is obviously directly impacts these consoles, because, you know, the value proposition seems a bit more worth it if you have a 4K TV to really make use of the improvements that both the Pro and the Scorpio bring to the table. But I will include a link to the full report in the description below this video. I suggest you give it a read if you're at all interested. This is but a snippet of the information discussed within. So, With all that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.